Everything that people look at, whether they see it on television or on social media or in the streets, if they see any kind of joy in that, they want some of that. If they see any kind of happiness and bliss in that, they want some of that. And I'm in no way saying that, being married is just gonna be like honey and milk. No, every time there's more than two people involved in anything, things just become a bit, difficult. But generally, if people understand what they're doing, they're most likely to be happy in what you're doing, especially if what they're doing is righteous, is good, and it brings joy to their soul. So to those who are married, they have to realize that they are the ones now who have the image of marriage in their own hands because they are married. So it's like when you are, you're endorsing a certain kind of clothing or a clothing label or a sport label. So if you're a sportsman and then you're endorsing Nike, every time you're wearing Nike, you are projecting an image about Nike. That's why some of these labels don't want you to act in a certain way. They want you to be sort of a good role model so that their image will not be associated with somebody who's doing bad things. So in the same vein, married people have the brand of marriage in their hands. You have the brand of marriage before you. And then the people who are mostly going to see whether marriage is a good thing, marriage is something that you can do and really find happiness in. The primary people who are going to be witnesses to this is your children, your sons and your daughters, because they're looking at you. It's not like they're looking at you, like always looking at you. They're just observing normally when a person observes. It's not like they're, focusing on one thing, but they are aware of what's going on around them. So children also are aware of what's going on between their mother and their father. Children are able to see when their mother is miserable, when their father is unhappy, when their father is angry, when their father is happy, when their mother is rejoicing. They can see all these things. But it's just that parents, don't give children enough credit that they can see. They think that children can't see. So sometimes they think that, if you're going to go and argue into the bedroom, then they already see that there's already tension between the two of you. So you can't hide, the body language that you have. The most obvious language is the body language. And if your wife is not happy, the children are able to see that. And when they grow up, they're going to see that, our mother was not happy because of marriage, because of the way our father treated her. Our father was not happy because of marriage, because of the way our mothers treated our father. So because they've seen that marriage is not something that you want to do if you really want to be happy. It's better if you're single, living alone and doing your own thing without sharing anything with anyone. So that is what the image of marriage means, the image that you project as a married person. Then what should married couples do to make marriage relevant, marriage attractive, is to make each other happy. I mean, it's very obvious that by the time you got married, obviously you must know enough about each other to know what to do to make each other happy. Otherwise, then why did you get married? Because you married this person knowing them and loving what you have seen and loving what do you know about them. So it's like now you have to go back as a man and a woman trying to impress one another as if you're not married, as if you're still trying to, make each other agree that yes, let's form a relationship, let's form an institution of marriage so that we can go through the journey of life together and share our experiences, cry together, laugh together, rejoice together and rejoice in each other and support and encourage one another to improve and to become better people. That is what you must do. You must go to serving one another. The man must go out of his way to do things to make the woman happy, to make the woman, first of all, happy as herself. Because sometimes people don't understand that if you love a person, you want to make them happy as themselves. And when they're happy as themselves, that's when they're going to come and respond with a happier response because they are happy in themselves. Because sometimes a man get it wrong. You can't buy your wife a present, whether it's an anniversary present or a birthday present or whatever present. You can't buy your wife a present which is like a present for the household, like pots or a washing machine or a stove. No, that's not a present for her. That's a present for the house. Buy her a present which is exclusively for her. You're not going to benefit anything from this present. Her children are not going to benefit anything from this present. The present is exclusively for her own joy, for her own happiness. That's how you make a person happy being by themselves. You see, first you make your wife happy as herself, by herself. And second, you make her happy as a wife. So the only way they're gonna be happy as a wife is if they are happy by themselves. You see, if I'm a happy man, I'm most likely to be a happy husband. I can't be a happy man while I'm married and not be a happy husband. Because when I'm happy, I'm gonna do good. And I'm gonna do good to make my wife happy. So my happiness will lead me to do good things. No happy person can do bad things. No happy person can commit suicide. No happy person needs drugs. Because the reason why people do drugs is because they want to be happy. So the reality is currently is not making them happy. So they want to switch off reality by unplugging themselves so that they could find some kind of relief. Do you see that? So when you make your wife happy by herself as a woman, by herself, meaning that you make her happy as a woman, as a female, in the way that she is. And then you start making her happy as a wife, meaning that you make her find joy in being a wife, you see? So that when you're not at home, you're at work and she's at home watching over the household and looking after the kids, she's happy doing it. I mean, she's not even necessarily thinking about you. She's thinking about her her contribution towards this family, her contribution towards raising these kids and making them good kids, making them righteous, disciplined, cultured, Christ-like kids, so that when they grow up and go out into the world, so they can, express the thing that they've learned, they do it correctly. She's happy in that. And then after that, you have to make her happy as your wife. Now, this is specifically making her attached to you to such a point that she always needs you because you always find ways to make her happy. And then, of course, it's very important because sometimes, especially when we talk, we just talk about do this, but we don't talk about how you can do it because it's useless to tell you to do something, not tell you how to do it. Well, like I said, if she's your wife, she married you because you made her happy and you gave her the prospect of a future with happiness, with joy. That's why she agreed to be your wife. So the things that you used to do, the initiative that you used to take, the presents, the going out, the dinners, the jokes, everything that you did to impress her, to make your wife, do it again. And this time, do it more. And then if there's any point in which your wife, feels bad or feels down or feels anxious, you don't start, blaming her and pointing things at her and saying, because I want to know. You pour yourself out more to make her happy. And when you're doing that, that's when she's going to be happy. And when she's happy, she's going to be happy with the kids. And when she's happy with the kids are seeing that. They're seeing that their mother is happy. Their mother is happy as a woman. Their mother is content as a woman. Their mother has joy as a woman. Their mother has joy as a wife. And their mother has joy as a wife. And because of that, your daughters are looking at them. They want that. They think that, marriage is a good thing. I mean, look at how happy my mother was. Women who are saying that men are trash are women who were raised in environments where there was no happiness. It was where the men were abusive and the men were treating the women in a bad way. They were raised in places where the men were not treating the women in a good way. The men were not making the women happy. So they think men are trash because the standard of men which they have is their father. And their fathers were terrible fathers or terrible husbands. Do you see that? And in the very same vein, because it cannot just be a man giving all these things. Also the woman. The woman, because the most important thing that a woman can do for a man in terms of when the man is trying to woo her is to respond positively. Respond positively is to appreciate, to show gratitude, to show respect to the man. Because the man and the woman have a different interpretation of what love is. A woman thinks that a man loves her when he's doing things for her. He's giving things and he's making things, making her happy. But a man believes that a woman is loving to him when she respects him, when she listens to him, when she makes him feel that indeed he is the man, he is the head of the household. That's how a man feels loved. That's why the Bible says that men must love their wives like their own skin, to protect them, to make them happy, to cleanse them, to give things to them. But women must see to it that they respect their husband. So look, the Bible does not say that a woman must, love her husband like her own skin. No, it says that she must see to it that she respects and submit. So that means that the way that a man will feel loved is when he feels like he is the leader, when he feels like he is the head, when he feels respected and honored. So that's how a woman responds. And when a man is respected and submitted to and followed as the head of the household, he is happy. And when he's happy, he's going to do more to make the woman happy. And it's like a cycle that keeps repeating itself. And children are looking at this and children are enjoying this. The way their father treats their mother and the way their mother treats their father. And there's happiness and there's joy because every time a man makes a woman happy, the woman will make the kids happy. And the kids, when they're happy, the whole household is full of joy. So they will grow up to want to get married. They will grow up to want, if they're daughters or girls, they will grow up to want to meet such a man as their father. If they're girls or they are boys or sons, they will grow up to want to meet a woman such as their mother, because they have the standards of what a woman is and the standard of what a man is. They have the standard of what a husband does, how a husband acts around his wife, and how a wife and what a wife does and how a wife acts around a husband. So marriage becomes now attractive because the image that people are looking at, especially the people who are the primary viewers of what marriage is, they see that this is a joyous institution, this is a joyous organization, this is a very joyous unit. I want some of that. Naturally, people want to be happy. No one really does anything for money or for whatever. They believe that as soon as they get this thing which they are chasing after, they're gonna be happy. If they don't become happy, they are most likely to stop and look for another thing which is gonna make them happy. Which is why people cheat, which is why people divorce, is because they're not happy. They were married believing that they were gonna be happy. And when they don't get happiness, they want to quit, because who wants to stay in an unhappy institution? But what should be happiness is that they shouldn't quit. They should look at what is causing their happiness and what make them married in the first place. What was the cause of the happiness? And because if they know what was the cause of the happiness, they can just repeat it again. Then the unhappiness will go away. So this is for people who are married. They are the ones who have to serve one another, make each other happy, so that marriage can have a good image, especially for the primary viewers, which are their own children. And for people who are planning to get married, because one of the mistakes that we make is that we think that all you have to do is go to school, go to us to get a degree, get a nice job, have good money, have a nice car, a nice house, then you're ready to be a husband, to be a father. But look at that. You prepare to do a job. You go to school, you go through school, primary school, high school, varsity. You are being prepared so that you can do the job correctly. But who has prepared you to be a husband? You see, who has prepared you to be a father? What do you know about marriage? What do you know about the role of a husband in a marriage? What do you know about the role of a wife in a marriage? What do you know about being a mother? You don't have to be a mother to learn how to be a mother. You can't learn the thing while you already have the thing. You see, because that would be wrong. Because if you fail, the child is going to suffer. The family is going to suffer. So you cannot go and get married while you did not prepare yourself. So if you're a young man, a teenager, and you one day want to be married, you have to be prepared. You have to prepare yourself. You have to understand what it means to be married. Yes, speak to men who are married. The same way as when you're starting a business, you speak to men who have been in that business, for that industry for a long time. The same way if you want to be a pastor, you speak to pastors who have been pastoring for a long time. So in the same vein, you must be asking people who have done this for a long time. Speak to the elders, the 70-year-olds, 80-year-olds. Speak to newly married couples. Speak to people who have been married for 5 years, for 10 years. Prepare yourself, you see, so that you at least you would know what to expect. You're not going to be shocked that, what? I'm supposed to serve my wife. I'm supposed to make her happy and find joy in that. I didn't know that. I thought she was supposed to make me happy. And because you didn't know that, but you committed yourself, you're going to end up wanting to get out of your commitment, you see. And when people are getting out of their commitment, it's because they're showing that they're not happy in their commitment. And when it's marriage, they're showing that they're not happy in the marriage. And then there's more and more people doing that. The image of marriage looks bad. And because it looks bad, no one wants to get married, you see, and no one wants to have a family. People who have children, but they don't have families. You see, it's very important to have a family. Why is it important to have a family? It is only through the family that children can be cultured. It is only through the families that Zulu children could be Zulu. Because where are they going to learn about Zulus if they can't learn it in their own household? It is only through the Russians, that Russians could be Russians. I mean, it is only through a Russian family that the Russian could be Russians. So they're going to learn the Russian culture in their family. It is only through the family that the Indian family could be Indian, because you're only going to learn that in an Indian family. You can't learn it in the streets. What you learn on television is not culture, it's pop culture. And pop culture is immoral. You see, that's why children are acting the same way as the people that you're seeing on television, because no one is showing them how they're supposed to act. in their own culture. Why? Because they don't come from families, or they come from broken families. You see, look, I'm not saying people, when people interact, whether they are Russian or Zulus or Congolese or Chinese, when people interact at a school on social media, they're gonna be friends, and friendship can lead to another thing. It could be marriage. So people are gonna intermarry. Even the Bible does show that people did intermarry. Moses married an Ethiopian, and Judah married a Canaanite. And you see, David also married the Canaanite. Joseph married. So as long as there's interaction between the peoples, between the nations, between the tribes, there's gonna be intermarriages. But the one thing that I have learned is that people always prefer to marry the same people as them, whether the same people in terms of skin color, in terms of culture, in terms of religion. But that is how people, in most cases, people will prefer to marry people who are similar to them, because a lot of people believe that it becomes easier. You don't have to learn something new. If you're Zulu, you already know the Zulu culture, so you don't have to learn anything. And you're not gonna say, I don't like that, I like that. So you already are raised in the Zulu culture, so you can be Zulu. So, but what I'm saying is that it is important to have families, because families makes nations survive, makes tribes survive, makes culture and customs survive. It is the family which is gonna make Christianity survive. Without families, without Christian families, Christianity is not gonna survive, because the best person to teach you is your father and your mother, because your father and mother may not necessarily stand in front of you in terms of telling you this is this and that is that. They're gonna leave out the things that they believe in, and you see that, and if there's happiness in that, you're going to want some of that. Do you see that? And when you understand that, then you understand why it is important to make family relevant and important again. And I'm not saying people should marry out of that. I'm saying they should understand what it means to be a mother, what it means to be a wife, what it means to be a husband, what it means to be a father. And they must learn and prepare themselves to be in those roles, the same way as they learn and prepare themselves to be in the role of a financial manager or a psychologist or a pastor. They must do the same process, prepare themselves to be men, to be husbands, to be fathers, so that when they do get married, they will know what is expected of them. And they must find joy in performing their roles, which is expected of them. And when they do find joy, they cannot be unhappy, because they're doing exactly what they're expected, and they're happy doing what they're expected to do. Do you see that? And when there's happiness, that's when marriage becomes very attractive, and that's when people want to get married and have children, and that's how societies are maintained. That's how tribes and nations are saved. That's how cultures and customs are saved. And that is how the church is going to be saved, through the family. Without the family, there'll be chaos and there'll be lawlessness. You see that?